Booker. Thank you.
Normally, when I did BioShock 1, for instance, you know, I work with great actors like Armin Shimmerman and Juliette Landau and people like that and the rest of the cast. But I never met any of them. I worked with them over a phone line, basically, and they were in a studio in LA or New York. But this is such a different challenge, and that we really want to spend time together. So I've spent a ton of time with Troy and Courtney now. They've come out to the studio a bunch of times. They're going to come out to the studio a bunch more. You know, whenever I'm on the West Coast, we spend time together. I'm spending time together with them today. And that's just not normally what you do with games, but they're so important to the process that when I'm writing now, be able to hear their voices and know their personalities, and that helps you make decisions about it. Not what you write, but how you write it and how you approach a scene.
If he were to take me back, that's death, Mr. DeWitt.
In terms of choosing the actors, you don't really intellectualize the process. You're not like, I need this or that. You really see, you write early versions of the character, because I don't write the script like ahead of time, like especially on this project, because I wanted to work with the actors so specifically to kind of find these characters. You know, I had early versions of those characters and I had them do auditions. You just kind of hear them and you sort of try to picture them in the game, and you see, you know, is this somebody I can work with? I like Troy's voice quality. I thought it was something that would be very easy to listen to for the course of the game, and then I liked what he brought to the performance. And, you know, Courtney seemed to be able to very quickly get to places emotionally with the character.
Hey, you don't look so good.
I'm okay. I just need a moment.
We have to get Elizabeth from emotion A to emotion B in a very abbreviated period of time. And you need an actor is very, where those emotions are relatively close to the surface, and she can access those things quickly, because there are things that happen in 10 or 8, 9 seconds that normally, if I was writing a screenplay or something, it would take, you know, I could have a page and a half to get the actor that plays. But they have to get there very quickly, because we never know what the player is going to do.
Booker!
Gold!
That's gold, like I'm the King of England.
Booker is a character he's a former Pinkerton agent. He's seen a lot of the darker side of the world, and he's kind of given up on the world and on himself, and he thinks really nothing can surprise him. And Elizabeth is the opposite. Elizabeth's been somebody who's not seen anything of the world. She's been trapped in this tower basically her whole life, and everything is a surprise to her in a lot of ways. I think Elizabeth's the only one who can surprise Booker, because she has no contact with the world. And I think Booker is the only one who can help Elizabeth learn the things she needs to learn very quickly about the world she enters, which is not what she expected. It's a much more dangerous world than she expected to encounter. She had a lot of dreams about what the world would be like, and those dreams get very quickly dashed.
What was that?
She has these powers, these ridiculous powers, obviously. But that's not what drives her character. What drives her character is she wants to control her own destiny. We should always try to, when we do a new game, talk about it's more important to talk about what's different from BioShock 1 than what's similar. I think people know when they look at the game, and they see the propaganda of the founders, they see the propaganda of the Vox Populi, they see what's happening in that world. They can understand that's pretty implicit what's happening in that conflict, and we didn't need to spend a lot of time talking about it or focusing on it, because that is part and parcel, I think, of what people expect out of a BioShock game. I think we're really focusing on things that are surprising people about the game, like, oh, there are characters and you interact with them and you're a person, and, you know, so those are more challenging for us. You know, I've done a lot of games about ideas, you know, like, you know, Shodan and the Many and System Shock 2 and the kind of conflict they had, and Andrew Ryan and Atlas, and in this game, Daisy Fitzroy and Comstock. And you'll see those conflicts in the world, and I think people are going to be kind of surprised about how those conflicts play out and not quite what they expect. But yes, you're going to see a very similar world. It's a world that's similar in the sense that it's being torn apart by ideology.
Whatever you're doing, do it fast!